top three things required to build a magazine and pros and cons for that.
The top three things. I'll give you the number one thing. It's content, relationships, things to talk about, content. The second thing is great photography, great high resolution photography, photos or what have you. And lastly, the willingness to wait. I think that a lot of people get into this, they expecting an immediate return on an investment because you do have a good brand and you're getting a few people saying, oh, I love what it is that you're doing. If you don't have the patience, get out of it quickly because it's not going to turn around. You have, no matter how good the brand, you still have a sales cycle and you need to be patient. But which I will, in all of that is encompassed with one thing: deliver value. That's the biggest thing. All those three things equal delivering the maximum value that you can, and always look to our company's motto and core value. The thing that I drive home to every team member when they come on, every partner, every sponsor, everyone that comes on, is we live by code to always deliver value before ever asking for value in return. If we're not putting out a product that delivers top-notch value, we can never ask for anything in return. And when one of the things that we've seen in the competition, one of the things we've seen in other magazines, we don't consider competition, actually. We got rid of that thought because there's always a way for us to collaborate. So if there's a magazine that's out there, we don't call them competition. Hey, how can we help you? Do you need content? We have these relationships built. Obviously, we want to get as much income from it as possible, but the name of it is to deliver as much value as possible before ever asking for any value in return. Because in that value, you can take that value anywhere in the world, and that value will always have a currency attachment to it. But you can only take your money but so far. You know, when I was teaching a class, I just recently did a class at a place called Wisdom Window, and I gave an analogy. And that analogy is the difference between if you had $10,000 cash or $10,000 in gold. I asked the question of people, which one would you rather have? Most people will automatically, because we live in a currency-driven society, automatically look at that currency as something that they can invest. They look at that currency as something that they can spend and as something that they can capture immediately. Then I asked another question. So according to the US dollar, if we took that dollar to the Eurozone, are you going to get the same amount of money for that same dollar in the Eurozone? No, you're not. You're not going to be able to get the value. But if you take that same value and you take that piece of gold, anywhere in the world, you're going to get the top value for that gold, the top currency amount for that gold, anywhere in the world. And we want to do is, if you're going to start a publication now, because there's so many people doing online magazines, there's so many people doing blogging, there's so many people doing all these different things, you have to find a way to deliver as much value as humanly possible without breaking yourself, without bankrupting yourself, but deliver as much value by way of content, by way of high quality photos, and just creating those worthwhile relationships. Those things just deliver as much value as humanly